Hello, I'm JC Boice, new head coach of the Westshore Rebels, getting ready to join Jeff and Mike on Game On.
Too easy. Wow. Get over here one day.
It's Game On. Game On is brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the right choice.
Hello and welcome to Game On. I'm pretty sad tonight because this is Mike Walker's last show with us. He's moving on to other things. Yeah, I'm going to cry, but thanks, Ed. But it will be during the commercial breaks.
Good. It was tough getting you out of the fetal position, sobbing, just
been a
trying
tough
to
week,
get you
man.
to
It's
stay.
been a tough week.
Man up, all right? We got work to do.
Okay. It is not easy, but the show must go on, and we have a gooder for you tonight. Westshore Rebels head coach JC Boice will join us later in the sports. Hey there, welcome back to Game On. You're in the Sports Cage, and Mike and I are happy to welcome the new head coach of your Westshore Rebels, JC Boice, to the program. First of all, welcome to town. Welcome to the Westshore Rebels program. And for those that don't know how the heck you got to this island, maybe explain, where you came from and some of your background, JC.
You bet. Hey, it's great to be here in Victoria. I love it here. I love the community I've met at Westshore. I married a beautiful girl from the island here. She originally moved down to the U.S. and had some health complications, had to ultimately move back here. We lived apart for a little while, and I moved up here with her. I coach full-time down in the U.S. for a company called the National Football Academies. Also do a lot of work with a company called Signing Day and the NFL Players Association. And love the game of football, love to develop athletes, develop young men. I've seen the Rebels around, and they've kind of contacted me a few times, and the timing is right. It was just the right field, the right time, the right place, and excited where we're going to take the Rebels.
That must be a pretty cool challenge for you. I mean, obviously football is born and bred and in the blood south of the border, but it's a little bit of a different scenario here on Vancouver Island. Are you looking forward to trying to bring that environment here to Westhill Stadium? Oh,
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think there's aspects of the American game, the American culture, certainly the way we prepare athletes. Mm-hmm. We can bring that up here, and that's part of an integral part of our plan. On the flip side, I think it's really neat that there's junior football for that age of athletes. They don't have that in the U.S. Right. You pretty much have to go right into burning eligibility post-high school. So it's a great opportunity for kids to have a lot of fun, but really also develop.
CIS, is that the goal for you to get players to go on to get an education and go to the CIS, or just build good young men?
Very honestly, we just want to develop young men. I mean, honestly, if you get 60 kids that are great young men, the wins and losses will take care of itself.
Right, yeah.
So, young men that are looking for next level opportunities. I mean, really, how do you prepare? How do you train? How do you eat? What kind of workouts should you be doing? Certainly specific technique. I don't want to sound arrogant, but it's what I do for a living, and it's very, very competitive down in the U.S. I mean, so you have to be the top of your game, and so we're definitely going to bring a lot of that. We're going to have a huge camp. We set it at 100 kids, and I think with the camp's we're actually going to be, unfortunately, probably have to turn some kids away. The word's gotten out that I'll be there, and we're bringing in some U.S. coaches. We also have some great guys right here on the island. That I've got to really. We have some carryover from our existing staff. We're bringing in some new staff, and they're committed guys that lead by example, and we're going to do some fun stuff.
Let's talk about what you've inherited, right. And the team. Let's be clear, has struggled in wins and losses over the past couple of years. Are you looking to turn that around in one season? Is this something that you see as a few-year rebuild, or how are you looking at this, and how do you want to put your own stamp on this program, JC?
Well, stamp my program is going to be this: we're going to build a family, and I mean that's not cliche or soundbite.
It is cliche, actually.
We're going to build a family of kids that trust each other.
Yeah.
A community can trust, because that's the foundational level you have to have. Is that has to be that camaraderie element. The work it's going to take, and we're going to build. I plan to be here for quite a few years. We're going to take a long-term approach. We're going to bring in some out-of-province kids that are quality men that really want to look for next-level opportunities. And the great thing what I do with NFA, I've already worked with several of those schools. I've worked with University of Manitoba, worked with the University of Alberta, worked with the University of Calgary, so they know who I am. So I've already said, hey, if you have those kids that you're not quite ready to offer yet and you want a place to park them for a year or two, again, they'll learn how to compete, they'll learn how to prepare, send them on over, and that coin of the recruiting is already working really well. We actually have CIS schools kind of helping us out a little bit. And there's some really great athletes right here on this island. I mean, I think there's some really committed kids. I've met almost every kid on the roster, took time to get to know them personally and sit down. What are your personal goals? What do you want as your team goals? And I think there's a nucleus of kids right here we can be very, very competitive with and be competitive with quickly.
The other part of this whole equation of running a junior club, and I know this may be a little out of your scope as coach, but there's certainly that element of trying to build a fan base as well and build a product that people are going to want to go and see as the only junior football in the South Island. Do you take that on as part of your role as well? Is that something that you're
I personally will, because in the U.S. that's a big part of it. Sure. I have an outstanding board. I'm here because of Elise Pastro and the job she did. There were a lot of people that felt
Executive of the Year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she's got some great people behind her and around her. At one point I was one of those people that I was watching from afar, just let it die and restart over. Right. And she refused to do that. Yeah. She's won a lot of Stu Young, the mayor out at Langford's gotten behind, the council. There's already been several sponsors that have stepped up. And I've been, I have very high expectations. I'm a very positive person, but even I'm like, wow, this is going great. It's going fast. So they're really committed to getting the players out in the community. Again, having integrity-based young men that want to do good for community, understand how to do good for community, right. And they're doing a great job of that. I think I've already figured out that there's a great, strong nucleus of football people here, and we're going to give them a great team to get behind.
How do you hit the ground running as far as being competitive? How well do you know the BCFC, first of all, and what do you know about other programs and recruiting and everything else?
I know what we do,
right?
And I know
is that all that's important?
It really is.
Yeah.
When we go out and talk to out-of-province kids, we talk to island kids, we focus on what we're going to be about. I'm counting on some players, we have to get out there and spread the word, but I don't focus on that other stuff. And I have a lot of respect as I've dug deeper. There's some very good football that's played here, that's coached, on the island and in BC. But man, we're going to focus on what we do, and we are going to bring schematically. We're going to bring some things that Canada's probably never seen. We're going to bring the most up-to-date, most accelerated approach there is to developing athletes and preparing a team.
And for you, is it more than elevating just the Westshore Rebels, but elevating sort of the product in BC across the board?
I've already started doing trainings. I've done them in Montreal, Winnipeg, Calgary, Alberta, Regina, over in Vancouver a lot. And I think there's an opportunity here to really raise the level of play. And I'm really looking forward to that challenge of really just the sense of urgency, the competitive nature, the preparation, So, no, we're going to raise the game in all of Canada. I know that's pretty broad, but, pretty confident. But again, if you saw what we've done down in the States, you'd be shaking your head saying, wow, I can't wait to see this happen.
Well, we're excited that you're in town. You seem so enthusiastic about this, and we both love junior football, so welcome to town, and good luck this upcoming season. J.C. Boice, the new head coach of the Westshore Rebels, and have to say goodbye to Mike Walker, sadly, tonight. Mike is, I cried before the show tonight. Sadly, Mike is moving on to other things, and this is his last show. I think we've probably done about 150 Game On shows together, and you've been just an integral part of not only this station, but the sporting community here. And I know you're not leaving town. People will see you around, but it's been a pretty cool ride. I'm anticipating my first spot back here as a guest. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it already. A quick shift or something. Thanks for everything you've done, Mikey. Good luck. That is it. Another edition of the Sports Cage and Game On here on CHEK. Join me all by myself next Sunday for Game On CHEK News every Sunday night at 6:30 and 10:30. Good night.